Do we want to introduce ourselves?
Hi, I'm Joe Hegyes. I am a college-educated adult man, 27 years old. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism, video production, film history, and screenwriting. I have worked professionally at media companies such as Newsday Corporation, BuzzFeed. My work has been featured in British Vogue, Adidas, The Today Show, and YouTube. I've worked with artists such as Taylor Swift.
You have.
And I'm a professional, and I have a podcast.
And I'm Andrew Muscarella. I graduated with a 3.96 from Loyola University, Maryland, from their honors business school as a finance major. I have a bachelor as well. I have interned at the New York Stock Exchange, the United States House of Representatives in Washington, D.C., and have worked professionally as a sales consultant at EF Educational Tours, where I was amongst some of the top sales consultants in the biz. And I also have a podcast.
2, 3.
Good Children.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
And Andrew Muscarella reflect on their 23 years of friendship growing up in the late 2000s,
early 2010s, and all of the nostalgia,
trauma,
and extracurriculars that go along with it.
I just think that we needed to start that way because we needed people to know and recognize that we are some of the dumbest people on the internet.
Because it's hard sometimes when you do this job and you realize that people are only perceiving you through a social cut, and who's to say what they can perceive about us?
Because we're really, really intellectual human beings that might say some really crazy things, but we've had life experiences beyond the podcast.
And it's important to know that we only say crazy things for attention.
Sometimes.
You're saying these things in full sincerity?
Joe, most of the things that come out of my mouth, I'm not doing for attention. It's actually my stream of consciousness. Time is money and I've lost both. Peenie butt. Those things aren't for attention.
Peenie butt's for attention.
Peenie butt is just not really.
But it's for attention. Know it's going to get a smirk. It gives you a smirk.
Because it brings me joy.
To say peenie butt instead of peanut butter?
Yeah, I think that's honestly hilarious.
We kind of need a dictionary at this point.
I'm telling you. Welcome to the Sage Merriam-Webster.
Good dictionary.
Because we, at the end of the day, are linguists.
And we have good dick.
That. And we have good
diction. Well, you do.
I think that you also speak very well.
I speak unintelligibly, rapidly. You just have heard me speak since I was 4 years old. I hear myself on this podcast, and I have to cut out sometimes 20-minute conversations because it begins with me saying something like, "When is this what this up?" And then we both have to. I'm like, "Well, we can't keep this in because no one's gonna know what subject matter."
Yeah,
you just reply.
Word.
So I have to listen. It's tough. It's tough.
But I honestly think it's really impressive that you can persevere and push past that because you are a podcaster and this is now your job to speak. And I think that people listen to you and they really value everything that you have to say not everything, but things.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the disclaimer there. Thank you for correcting that. I'm not even joking, and this is crazy. But I remember growing up, I was like, I cannot be an actor, which I think at one point obviously was my passion.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't have the voice to act. I was like, I can't act with my speaking voice.
But how times have changed.
Well, now that's almost the whole thing is the voice.
And also, I think that people still act to this day.
And
it's gotten different.
And that's the thing. But then I was watching someone give an interview. Barry Keoghan.
I know who you're talking about. And
I know that everyone who's listening is like, how do they not, why is this a foreign name to them?
Yes.
But that's Saltburn Man.
Yes.
But Barry Keoghan, which is how I'm going to say his name, which I assume is the proper pronunciation in Gaelic. He was saying something on Hot Ones, I want to say. His number one acting advice was like, don't change your voice. Like, don't change anything about yourself. Like, they want to find people who they can't put their finger on why you're different and they can't put a word to it. But like, that's what you want when it's like, when you're in entertainment, it's like not trying to be like everybody else.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you're like anybody else besides maybe like Plain Jane.
Why do you have to get so fucking nasty? Like, this is the thing, and I'm gonna bring.
I'm not even trying
and now
to be
that you said that,
nasty.
I'm gonna bring something else up because I've been thinking about this for a week straight. If I don't bring it up, it's gonna lead to resentment. When on Patreon recently, we said like what appetizer you'd be each being. I said you'd be a pig in a blanket because everybody freaks out when the pigs in the blankets are brought into the room, and you said like Joe, you would be like a stuffed mushroom because not everybody likes you. And point blank period is how you said it.
Well, because you know what, it wasn't meant to be nasty. What
well, how else do you interpret that? I said everybody freaks
you're
out.
unique. You're unique.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about extracurriculars, but I think that we're kind of gonna dive into more what they say about you as a person, and I already think that Joe has some clocked.
I feel like we're bringing it back to season 1 right now. Like,
you weren't a big extracurricular head, but you had some extracurrics under that belt.
I had a few under the belt. Actually, hold on a second.
Bring it out. Bring them out.
Here we are, you guys. I'm sitting here with the St. Anthony's, with the 2014 St. Anthonian, my high school yearbook.
Who's St. Anthonian?
I think it means like, it's like the title of the book.
Oh.
So Joseph F. Hegyes. I was in NHS in 2010, 2011, 2012.
Whoa.
Wait.
Dropped off?
Did I leave the Honor Society junior year, sophomore year? I don't think that's true. And then here's the classic for me. I was in the Peanut Butter and Jelly Gang in 2009.
Was that even high school? We started in 2010, no?
Did we start in 2009? 2009, 2010, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2013, 2000. Yeah, so fall 2009, I was in the Peanut Butter and Jelly Gang. The fact that we started this episode proving that we're not stupid. And we all heard me just do that math. Whatever. It's just like, whatever. Did you have a Peanut Butter and Jelly Gang in your school?
Not to my knowledge, no. But
Are you familiar with their work?
I am familiar with their work. I remember you telling me like you guys would like slap a lot of peanut butter and jelly, and then like it would be serving like
someone was getting them.
Yeah,
someone was getting them. I'm not really remembering who was receiving those peanut butter and jellies, but yeah, you would come into school with a packet of white bread, a jar of jelly, a jar of
peanut butter. You had to supply your own?
Well, Andrew, yes.
I guess that makes sense.
You'd bring your peanut butter, your jelly, and your white bread. You would sit down at the table, factory line. Someone's smacking the butt. Someone's smacking the gel. Someone's layering it up. Someone's wrapping it up. Good to go. I did this for one day.
You guys gloved up?
Of course. I did this for one day. It's in my yearbook.
That's honestly really admirable. Because you did do that club.
I had to get the paper signed by the person who ran the teacher who ran the club.
You did do that club. So why wouldn't you tell people that you did it? Because you tried.
I tried. And I just feel like it wasn't for me. I was like, I'd rather just go home. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I'd rather make myself my own peanut butter and jelly.
And I was eating the sandwiches. Like, it was like, you know what I mean?
Were people like on doing the line and then like having a few left over and eating? Of course.
How could you not? I was licking my fingers.
That's the thing about a peanut butter and jelly. It never goes out of style.
No. And that's actually something that I think about a lot. Like, I haven't had a peanut butter and jelly in a while. And I feel like as we age, like as we become adults and like, the liberal media like wants us to like abandon jelly and just have like peanut butter on shit with like honey.
Is that
like,
what's happening with the
when
liberals?
was the last time that you have had peanut butter and jelly?
Well, so only recently this past week I had a little jar thanks to your mother that gave us the Stonewall Kitchen. Yes, I know. Is that crazy? Stonewall Kitchen wild blueberry Maine jam.
Oh wow!
Yes, very good. I put it on my peanut butter toast.
But otherwise, you don't keep jam in the house
because you know what people are saying? Too much sugar.
And yet, you're scooping Biscoff cookie butter like it's going out of business.
I'm scooping Biscoff as if though it was bringing me back to life.
Yes.
As if though it was like if I was to have asthma, it was my inhaler. Like, I needed it for like sustaining my being.
But jelly has just been banned for us. Jelly is just something you look down upon. But I would love to have jelly in the house at all times.
Joe, oh my God, thank you. I feel like I needed to hear that personally to like just have my own jelly in there. Are you strawberry or grape?
Great. But I enjoy a strawberry, but come on, let's be realistic. It's
now,
Welch's.
And what's your ratio?
Mama, it's Welch's.
What's your ratio?
Well, this is the thing about me. As a child, like, I didn't understand that, like, bigger isn't better at all times. Like, more is not more at all times. So, like, with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I was probably packing on 8 to 12 tablespoons of peanut butter.
Yeah.
And then, like, half a jar of jelly. And then just, like, sealing the corners of that sandwich with my fingers as best as I could, making my own Uncrustable. And then, like, swallowing that whole. As I've aged, I understand that sometimes a light schmear gets the job done.
Yes.
When it comes to jelly, you don't want too much jelly, but you need to soften and wet that palate, because if it's just too much peanut butter, you're choking.
You got dry mouth.
Yeah.
But what I've learned on my experience with peanut butter and jellies is this. I have turned a new leaf when it comes to peanut butter, and now I prefer crunchy. My whole entire life I only like smooth. But I'm telling you, when you just have a little schmear of that peanut butter and it's still crunchy, you're always getting that peanut. Rather, even if you don't think that there's enough peanut butter. Wait, you only like
smooth now, you just said?
Crunchy.
Okay, sorry.
No, that was tuned out.
I like wasn't listening for the first 5 seconds.
That's
and then
completely fine.
Had to come back in, and I thought I heard the reverse.
Because even if you're not listening, someone is.
Exactly.
So that's what the beauty of a podcast is. So it's amazing. But a little crunchy peanut butter and then just enough jelly. You're right. It can't be too much, because when it's coming out the sides,
when it's
dripping on your lap,
pissed.
Oh my God! How do you even get that stain out? It ruins your day. Well, I mean, there are different ways to get the stain out. I'm sorry, I have a nose tickle. You weren't cutting crusts.
I was not a crust cutter. I was always an adult at that point. I was like, I don't need my crust gone.
Why were people cutting crusts?
I think it's like a textural thing. It's a flavor thing. I think more than anything, it's just like something that you just think that you need to do as a child. It's like, you don't need a pizza crust. Who are you kidding? If
you're still not eating a pizza crust, it's disrespectful. Look inward. It's disrespectful to the pizza maker.
To Italians.
Yeah.
All Italian acts.
Yep.
It's just something that you just gotta say, why am I eating the pizza then? That's like saying, like, let me have a salad but not eat the lettuce.
Yes.
I'll eat everything else but the lettuce on the salad.
If you're not eating a pizza crust, but then I see you go for a piece of bread or a garlic knot or any other carb that could be potentially on the table, I want to talk to you. Get it together. Dip it in some oil. Do something with it.
Can we have a night soon where we order a pie? Like a classic pie?
We haven't done that in forever.
No, I almost need it to be on Long Island, though.
But I feel like it's always on Long Island, which I kind of think that's our place to do it.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I do think Long Island pies are better than New York City pies.
Well, I don't think, yes, I completely agree. I don't think that we have a pizzeria that I'm kind of like obsessed with.
No, but you love that one.
Sauce and soda?
Yeah.
Well, I like sauce and soda because it's like close enough, but also at the same exact time, I think people are freaking out about Joe's Pizza, and I get it.
No,
but
those are
really
people.
When I'm walking past a Joe's Pizza and I see the line, I saw the line down the street, not
for a
Williamsburg.
Slice of pizza.
And I thought that legitimately, like, Miley Cyrus had to be behind the counter. Somebody had to be there. No, for a plain slice.
It's just like you could get that like baseline anywhere. Prince Street Pizza is sometimes worth the line. I will say.
Good.
I think that they have very good pies. Joe's, it's your average slice.
It's your average slice. There's so many pizzerias. Just don't fall for like the dollar slices.
And that shit pissed me off with the bagel place as well. Tompkins Square Bagels. The line would be around the corner. Go to any fucking bodega and get your bagel. You don't need to go to Tompkins Square Bagels.
Because I'll tell you something about the bodegas. They are getting the bagels from places
Tompkins
like
Square Bagels, yeah.
So we're just giving people hacks nonstop.
Pissed, but like, it's upsetting me. It's getting me really upset.
I get it. It is like a Because don't you want to like go up to the people that are waiting and say, do
I
you
want
have
to
anything
shake
else
them
better
and
to do with
say,
your day?
well, maybe they don't. And maybe
You're
they
right.
enjoy waiting in the line. I'm starting to get into lines.
It's something that I've struggled with my entire
Where was
life.
I was somewhere recently where I was like, oh, this is a line. And then I was like, what else am I doing? Trader Joe's on a Sunday morning. And you know me in a Trader Joe's on a weekend or even any time of day.
Oh my God, give him a sedative.
But I said, what else am I doing? I'm just going to wait on this line. It was done in 5 minutes.
But I do believe when it comes to a Trader Joe's line, there's a community feel.
And well, they're also working at like
on a
the
Sunday,
Navy.
that's your church. Wow. You know? And they're working. People are, and they have about 55 employees ready with that sign. They're like, next.
And then there's the one, the person in charge. And then there's always this thing though that I'm realizing when I'm there is like I have to like pretend that I have to defer to the line leader who's going to tell me where to go when like I'm also looking at the registers and I see that register 1 is open and they're standing there, but I'm not going to walk there until the line leader allows me to. But I'm like, you don't need to be here right now. Like you can like let me, I can handle this.
It's kind of the same feeling when you're like walking through school and you needed like, it's like the hall monitors. You're like, you know what you're doing. You were interviewing for the role.
Were you ever a hall monitor?
I was never a hall monitor, but you feel like that would be
something you would do.
And it probably would be something I would put in my yearbook under
hall
my
monitor.
name. Hall monitor.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
And it'd be like, Jack, where's your pass? Can you show me your pass? Where are you coming from? You have to go back and get your pass from science class. I'm so sorry.
You would be just like that.
Yeah, I'd be bitchy.
Yeah, snarky marky.
You
are such a snarky marky character.
I'm snarked.
Okay, anyway, then I did theater productions, 11 and 12, assistant to the director. Oh my God, Andrew. We are the dumbest people on the planet. It's the year of high school. Year 9, year 10, year 11, year 12.
Joe,
so 10, 11, 12 if I was in honor society because you can't be in a freshman year.
That's why you also definitely did that math wrong because it's 2010 to 2011, 2011 to 2012, 2012 to 2013, 2013 to 2014.
Well, I was just counting just now. I was recounting it and I was like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're in high school for technically 6 years, 7 years.
No, I think we need to stop doing math because it's not adding up.
We all know about theater. There's a wound that you'll never be able to heal.
No. But know that there are some people out there like me that wish I had your experience. So whenever you're feeling down and low and you were in the theater department, just know that you had an experience,
something that we'll never experience
in our lives.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Please.
Is there a role in high school theater that you saw someone else do that you wish you could have done instead in the musicals you watched?
I hate to say this. I didn't even really go to the musicals.
I think I went to them with you.
You went to, I think, one
I
with
saw
me.
Bye Bye Birdie.
At Farmingdale High School?
Absolutely.
I think that was probably one of the only musicals that I went to.
And you were there, and we were in high school. We must have been, 10th grade? Mm-hmm. You're sitting there with your, like, fucking BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Taking pictures of a girl who you had a crush on 3 rows ahead, who was the band leader, I want to say.
Emily. Wait, yes, she played flute.
Yeah, and you were in love with her.
I was in love with her because she gave me like an energy that was kind of like HBIC. Like she was the head bitch in charge, and
you had such a crush. I remember you telling me. Yeah, you said I have a crush on a girl in band, and then I remember
she would like. But like I don't know what it was about her. I guess it was like that she was a little bit more dominant and like
you love it.
There was a way it was kind of felt like a TV show. There was a way that she would like flip her hair and then start playing the flute that I was like,
you're like mother.
This would be like a slow-mo if I was watching a TV show. Like she was mothering me. Emily. Yeah, she was stunning.
And I remember you texted me on her last day of high school and you were like, I'm hysterically sobbing right now in band class because the seniors are giving their goodbye speech and Emily is giving her speech. I can't stop crying. I'm shaking. I almost have the screenshot of that text.
If you still have that screenshot, I'm mortified. I'm embarrassed. I can't believe that happened, but I remember sobbing.
I found the screenshot from Andrew and I'm going to read it today. I just finished sobbing because in band the seniors gave speeches and Emily made one and I was sobbing. And everyone looked at me. It was so embarrassing with like this like blushing weird like ooh emoji. And then I reply, no words, and that's the end of the conversation. So that she was a major crush for you.
She was a major crush for me, and like that's probably why I went to Bye Bye Birdie. I knew she was going to be there,
and that's why I was tagging along.
You were tagging along because you saw me trying to get my girl.
Your girl, Emily.
But there was something about me, like when I was in 10th grade and knowing that she was a senior, like it was so out of reach.
Yeah.
She was so old and I was so young that I was like, it's just like.
And then again, the gay thing didn't matter in this situation.
The gay thing didn't matter at that time because I was like, bye bye birdie.
Bye bye B.I.
I was B.I. birdie. Yeah, I was
bye bye birdie.
Welcome to the stage, bye birdie. Oh no, but there wasn't a role, and I kept saying
you wanted Jean Valjean.
No,
sorry,
I wanted to be Javert, and I said if this high school ever does Les Mis, I'm trying out for a Javert. Lo and behold, next year.
They knew. They knew. They said, we can't let that Muscarella kid get a hold of the theater department, too. He's already doing Lacrosse. He's already doing student body. God forbid.
Band. God forbid. But I was like, I was waiting for my moment to bring down the house.
I know.
And I haven't, like, I got that moment in college when it came to acapella, but I yearned to bring down the house. I always do, still to this day. Still to this day.
Down boots.
Yeah, I bring down the house. and I have done that before in my own personal home, and we've talked about when
you flooded the home.
I flooded my home, and I legitimately brought down my house. Almost.
From clogging a toilet.
Clogging a toilet. Water 2 inches above the floor. Flooding.
Sorry, to bring it to, I want to actually talk more about your crush here and band in general.
Yeah.
We all agree that, like, if you're in band, you're horny, right? There was a horniness to band, and maybe it was all the blowing and sucking.
It definitely was the blowing and sucking and the finger twiddles.
Oh, the blowing, sucking, and the fingering.
The finger. It's nonstop fingering when you're in band.
Yeah.
And this is why I think that when you saw the trombone players, you were like, wait, they're fucking sexy. Is because you're constantly working your biceps. It's a nonstop movement, and you're constantly jerking that boner.
Wow.
I know. So you're kind of like, what's up?
See, for me, I was more attracted to the tenor saxes, and that's why I switched to tenor sax in 7th grade, because I was like, those are the boys that I thought were hot. Like,
yeah, I mean, he was hot. So you're like, if I'm gonna be next to anybody, it's gonna be next to the tenor sax. We're having tenor sex. But I think that the woodwinds definitely like had a charm to them that was like
exclusive.
It was exclusive. I never felt like I was a part of them.
No, I mean, and even though I was at one point, I went from brass to woodwind, and I never felt like the woodwind girls gave me the credit I deserved for learning an entirely new species of instrument on my own.
Yeah.
While they rehearsed as a group.
Yeah.
But I also think I quit immediately afterwards.
You did quit immediately afterwards, but because I don't think it was because of your lack of talent.
Who's doing the flutes? What is that section? Is that brass?
That's woodwind. That's still woodwind.
But there's no wood in their wind.
There's wind in their wood.
There's wind in their wood.
Like when a woodwind, like, yes, it could be made out of wood, but it's really just focusing on your airflow through that vessel.
I thought it was anyone who had a reed. A reed.
They're still considered woodwinds.
My reed always tasted like buffalo chicken. No, my mouthpiece, my brass, my trombone always tasted like buffalo chicken.
That was, you're so right.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. It's was
the
definitely
iron or whatever it is, the metal.
And like you're just breath that's nonstop in it, and you're like spitting.
And were you cleaning it? Let's all be honest.
Was I cleaning your
mouthpiece?
Not normally. But I'll tell you one thing.
Oh, I remember the smell of it.
You know the amount that my mouth spews when I'm hungry, like when I'm salivating. So you know how much spit I produce.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many times I was dumping that French horn?
Oh, stop.
That's also disgusting.
The spit.
Where
were you dumping it?
On the floor. on the floor.
Is that where we dumped?
Yeah, we dumped on the floor in band.
What the fuck is a band?
It was always like the floor was always
slippery and slidey.
But it was never a wood. It was carpeted. So it
For
was
the
like
spit.
Yeah, it was like more. It was like kind of like wicking the spit.
There are like generations of band kids spit in those carpets.
If someone was to be legitimately murdered in a band room, they wouldn't be able to get the samples because there's so much
spit.
DNA.
If you're gonna kill someone, kill them in a band room, is what you're saying?
Yeah, kill them on the floor of a band room because there's so much spit all over the place.
I'm really glad I didn't do band in high school. I will say, I'm just glad. Like
it
just was like one
person.
of those things where I was like, I don't need to do. Like it would have been a little too much for me.
I dedicated a lot of time in my high school years to band, to
I
marching
respect
band,
it.
to being one of the most perfect French hornists.
Was it worth it?
I liked being a part of something, and I liked finding
being a part of something
outlet.
special makes you special.
And the thing about a French horn was they always brought it together. They always brought it home. We always had the most beautiful part of the song.
Did you?
Yes. Oh my God. Home Alone soundtrack. Listen to it back.
Somewhere in my memory.
And then when they're not singing that, that's the French horn that's carrying that melody.
That's the French horn.
That's the French horn.
That's her.
It's gorgeous. I know.
She's kind of mother.
And I'll tell you one thing that it taught me as an adult. That's a double tongue. I know how to double tongue. What can you do? You're still teaching. People are out there still teaching themselves how to double tongue. I had 12 years of practice.
Ew.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that. I just know.
Back to theater for a second. So you would have been Javert.
I would have been Javert. I would have, like, if they did Hairspray, obviously I wanted to be Edna.
Yeah, Edna, sorry.
And that I probably would have opted for Edna because I knew I wouldn't have gotten Link, but deep down I would want to be Link.
I think I could have gotten Link.
I think that you absolutely give Link.
Thank you. That's actually the nicest thing you ever said to me.
Because, like, you're, like, tall and stunning, and I think that, like, Link would have to tower over Tracy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be able the other way around.
It always really ate me alive. I've said this before, but it really ate me alive to be the assistant to the director because I remember just being like, I could do better than all these bitches up here. Like, you know, like, and not like in a bit, well, yeah, in a bitchy way, but also like, I was like, I know that like, I would fucking work this shit. Like I would be, and like, I don't know. I was so desperate to do it. But I was so afraid of doing auditions. So afraid of doing auditions.
But you know that you could do it. Like, that's the thing. It's like, what is an audition? Well, I wouldn't know. And I'm not diminishing.
You get in front of all your peers who are also auditioning.
Because you were there.
Yeah. You get in front of everyone who's auditioning for the show.
Okay.
And you perform. You sing in front of everyone.
But then once you're done with the singing portion, like, they're like, okay, call back. And then you do the acting segment.
I don't even know if you honestly act.
Oh, interesting.
None of those kids could act. No offense. I mean, some of them are actors and can act, but like, I think it mattered more at that age was if you could sing.
Auditions were really, they were scary.
I'm gonna pressure, like, people like pressured their kids to like become doctors. I am pressuring my children to pursue musical theater. Like, well,
yes.
And as a result, they're gonna become doctors.
Can we make sure that, like, and you can say no. You can say no.
We're living in the same school district.
But can we, like, make sure that we're adopting at the same time?
Yes. Yeah, we need a second gen.
Okay, we do.
Just for the business.
I can imagine if they hate each other.
That'd be even better.
Your kid's going to hate mine.
No, if they hate each other, like, those are enemies to lovers. They're getting married.
You're right.
It's going to be just like, what was that movie that I watched over Christmas with Kyle Richards? Real Housewives of the North Pole. Everyone needs to watch it.
I would love our kids to experience the Real Housewives of the North Pole.
Well, it's like the moms are friends, but they're like, the kids like beef a little bit, but then the moms
start beefing.
Yes, and then the kids fall in love, and we're gonna beef, so it's perfect.
Yeah, we're due for some beef.
But the other thing is, I was the one who would be reading the book to them when there was someone out, and I couldn't read a single word out loud. I was so anxious. It was brutal. Imagine.
But I do believe it's a different that's a different type of anxiety. That's kind of like when they call you out in class to read the book, the passage
But
aloud.
Andrew,
I'm
I would
always
be
shaking.
reading a line. I wouldn't be able to say the line was all aboard. I would not be able to do it. Like I'd be like all aboard.
Again, that was a confidence thing because you didn't feel like you belonged there
I know.
because where you belonged wasn't in that seat, it was on that stage.
And I'll never forget a classmate who was in stage crew saying to me, "Everyone thinks you do nothing, but I think you're important here." And they know exactly who they are to this day.
But I wish I never did student council. And I mean that.
And let's get into it.
Yeah. I really talk about something I did for attention, to prove to myself that I was beloved, to prove to myself that I could win. I look back on those 4 years and I loved the people that were in the student government with me or the student council. I think it was a great cohort of students. But like, I mean, the lasting legacy it has now with planning the reunion.
The fact that you, of all people, are in charge of planning your high school reunion is the fucking funniest thing to ever happen to me.
And Joe, it's not, let's pluralize that. My high school reunions. I'm in charge of the 10-year. I'm in charge if I wanted a 20-year, a 25-year, a 50-year. That's all me.
You're kidding.
That's all me.
The 25-year reunion.
I'm kind of like, not to say I think I'm going to live a very
you
long life.
gotta write it into the will.
I need to have a predecessor.
Yeah, you need to establish that immediately.
As a just in case. I mean, like,
if I were you, I would step down right this instant. I would say, hey guys, I'm not doing this.
Hey guys, I'm
not in the right mental place to plan a reunion right now. And if someone else wants to take the reins, I'm sure someone would be thrilled.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm actually like gonna be on a touring musical. I can't make it for the reunion, so you guys decide where you want it to be. But no, even being in student council during school, it's like I'll never forget my advisor looking at me because I said I wanted to do theater. I did. It was the first time I had said it. I said I want to do theater. She said, "Well, it's either the student council or the theater department. You choose." It's a really big decision. Yeah, it's a really big decision to make.
Hardly breathe.
And I said, I can't let this grade down. I'm their president.
Do you think you would have let them down, or
No.
would they have said, "Oh,
what John Paul would have loved to be the president."
John Paul was your Kamala.
John Paul was my Kamala, and thank God for him. But yeah, no, I really regret those experiences, and I feel. I would hope that anybody else who felt the way that I felt after doing student council could speak up. Those class presidents out there, I see you. We have that bond together. But I know that you're putting down deposits as well for your high school reunion. I know that you are. And I'm bringing a camera crew. I'm bringing a camera crew
And me.
to my 10-year high school reunion, and you. And it's going to be filmed reality housewives style.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Any drama you need, like, I'm the perfect
Please.
catalyst because, like, these people don't know me.
It's like I go up to one person and I'm talking to them, having such a great time, and then you go up to
I
me
go
afterwards, like,
did Andrew just tell you what he really thinks about you, or was he fake again?
that's so
And they're like, what do you mean?
good.
They're like, oh, never mind.
What I'm nervous about, though, with the plan of the reunion is that I'm going to release the date and people are going to be upset about it, and I'm not going to be able to withhold how I actually
You should
feel.
send a message out saying everyone vote on a date so we can establish a date where the most people can come and then work from there. You should not pick a random date on your own.
Okay. That's a good task for this week. I have to create a Facebook and a Facebook page and an Instagram and... Okay. I just don't. Whatever. Student council aside.
Next on my list here is Shades of Grey.
Now, what was this, like a BDSM club?
Junior and senior year. Shades of Grey.
I kind of feel like I don't know what it means, but that makes a lot of sense. That you would be at a Shades of Grey club?
Yeah, it was the poetry club.
Mm.
And I went a few times. I don't think any of my poetry was published. Just my photography was. Which, yeah, I was going to say, where is that? I also was in photography club. These are the clubs that, like, the people who believe they are actually vampires join. You know what I mean? Like, these are the clubs for the true dark demoness souls out there who are desperate to express themselves in some way. And I was just going to Shades of Grey just to, like, have something to do.
What didn't, like, for these clubs, like, what had you deciding to skip and, like, not go back?
What do you mean?
Because I feel like when you join a club, you're usually, like, after a few times all in.
Me?
No, just in general, people who join clubs.
I am very particular, as I'm sure you could have guessed by now. And if a vibe doesn't vibe with me, I'm not going to devote my every week to it. I had shit to do.
You did have
Hunger Games to make.
You did have Hunger Games to make. You had different series to think about.
I had Liam Hemsworth to jerk off to.
Content
I had
capture.
a lot of jobs at that time.
Yeah.
And
was it like the poetry club though, where like people were you looking at people differently? Because like I'm only assuming
there was some people in there who were like cool that were in poetry club, and I was like, wait, I respect you now.
But I feel like they're also sometimes reflecting on their own personal feelings and experiences, and you're kind of like
creative writing course you're ever in is suddenly everyone's trauma dumping. And in college, I was trauma dumping the house down boots.
Stop. Was it about being gay?
Yeah, of course. Being gay, being fat, like whatever I could possibly pull from my life, I was pulling.
I'll say something about photography, though. I was always jealous of the people who got to go to that dark room, whatever you call it, that red room, the dark room.
Yeah.
I wanted to step foot in that dark room.
Develop some film.
So badly. No, I just wanted to be in the dark room.
Well... And you've turned it around in a big way.
About 10
you almost
years
can't
later,
leave now.
I'm just finding any dark room I can in Brooklyn. Standing right outside of it still.
That's all from me. Please take it away, sir.
Well, we already know that I was in student council. I was in band. I was in sports.
What sports?
I played volleyball. I was on the swim team.
Gay.
I was on the swim team.
Gay.
And I was on the lacrosse team.
Gay.
I wouldn't say lacrosse was gay.
You're walking around with that big stick getting hit with balls nonstop.
Well,
trains you pretty well.
Someone had to take it.
And it trains you pretty well.
Trained me pretty well. And you know what? If someone was to come at me with a fist, maybe I'd sit on it. No, if they were to come at me with a fist, then I'd be able to catch their hand in about 1 second. Not even. Boom. Right in my hand. Because you know what I did? I was training nonstop to catch those balls. To save those balls.
And that's training season's over.
Training season's over, but I still know what to do with those sticks.
What would you say your biggest takeaway? I want to go one by one here. What was your biggest takeaway from volleyball? Make it fast.
Volleyball, honestly, I had a lot of fun. That was one that I wish I stayed with and stuck with it.
Yeah,
I was more of a libero. I was in the back and I was serving. I was literally serving.
Yeah, always. So what was your takeaway from that second one? Swimming.
Swimming?
I can't believe you swam. So you were showing off that body.
I was showing off the body in 9th and 10th grade. And then I said no longer because 10th grade was my skinny year.
Oh, and then 11th grade you came back with back knee and you said no more swimming.
Yeah, 11th grade I came back with back knee and a few Chipotle burritos down a day. That I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get back in that pool. The reason that I stopped swimming, though, I'll tell you that. It was the best workout of my entire life. The reason I stopped swimming is because they did 2-a-days, and I was not willing to get to the pool at 6 o'clock in the morning when I had a full day ahead of me, and I was already stressing about the test that I had that day. I couldn't get in the pool. I'd rather drown myself. So I stopped there before any action was taken.
Was there nudity involved in swimming?
For sure.
Were you naked in the showers?
Absolutely not, Joe.
Was
I was
everyone
not partaking.
else?
Some people some people would, but most people would like towel. I would towel on, or I would go to the stall. But a lot of people would just like strip down and put their stuff back on. But like there was definitely like asses and like probably dicks. I just never really looked because I was like sick about it. That was me in any locker room.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I would never even be able to pursue a sport because God forbid there was nudity around.
I think about that to this day. Like if I was to be on the lacrosse team in college, like there's, like I would have to leave immediately after practice and go back to my dorm because I wouldn't be able to shower with people or go anywhere near them.
I think that this is not me trying to start a fight, but I think you need to reassess your relationship with nudity.
Why? Because I get hard immediately?
Yeah.
Well, it's not that I even get hard immediately. It depends on like if I've already had a physical attraction to that person and then I see them naked, especially when you build a bond with somebody on a team, then you're like, they're giving me attention. I'm friendly with them, but like I wish it was more. And then you see them naked. Yeah, I'm going to boing right up. And that's just the truth. And then my takeaway from lacrosse is that I actually really did appreciate and enjoy my experience with lacrosse. I had a lot of training in it and I was very good. And I think that I look back and say I'm happy with the person I became after playing about 12 years of lacrosse.
As in, you're glad that you're no longer playing it.
I'm glad I'm no longer playing it, but I'm also glad that like it was such a toxic environment, I think, with the kids that played.
Right.
In a really degrading way to a lot of women. And also just like the vibe that they give off is just douchey. So I'm happy that I was like singing Hairspray in the net. It was a very solitary position. I was with myself a lot.
Your favorite position to be in?
With myself? Yeah, I love it. That's why I'm so used to it. So yeah, it was sports for me in high school. But let's not forget National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, as well as Key Club and Mathletes.
Well, what the fuck is Key Club? Because I'll say one thing without even knowing. And I to this day, I don't know what a Key Club is, but I know every person who was in Key Club was a bitch.
Everyone was dangling those keys.
You had actual keys?
No.
Oh.
No keys. You think that everyone who was in Key Club was a bitch?
I think it was a bitchy club to be in. Yeah.
I think it was it definitely was a club that you would do to like maybe boost your resume. It was just helping.
And that explains
what it did was like it was a nice counterpart to National Honor Society because people got to get service hours from Key Club. That was the whole point. Is you were like doing community service with Key Club that you can just say.
But what is it?
I don't know why it's called Key Club.
You were in it. What was it?
You want me to call up like Matt Rocha?
I want you just to explain what it is.
It was a community service club that you can do any type of community service, and you guys met together and you were like, okay, we're going to do service.
As a group, everyone in the club did the same community service.
No, there was like 150 people in the club, and they would give like different options for service. Like you can like think about, you know, like you can pitch different service ideas for people to take part in. I was like planting American flags for Memorial Day. You know what I mean? Like those things.
Yeah, I think my assessment's right.
Well, say what you want to say. Say what you want to say.
I did.
But there was a lot of
DECA?
honest.
What's DECA?
I always was jealous of these DECA bitches.
What was DECA?
It was, I don't know what it for.
Stood for.
I didn't know what it stood for, but I feel like it probably stood for like deeming education correctly available. I'm kidding. It was a business club.
Me thinking it was an art club. It's so insane.
It's a business club, and people would go to their DECA competitions, and like I think that they were like pitching businesses.
And
it was
you
kind of
weren't
very
in
Shark
DECA?
Tank. No, I wasn't in DECA, but I knew the advisors very well.
Why weren't you in DECA?
Because I think that it was just like I couldn't add another thing to my plate at the time.
I feel like that's almost a priority. I feel like I would have prioritized DECA.
Well, yeah, if I knew I was going to school for finance, I probably would have done DECA.
DECA for me, like if you're doing, it's just like, I don't know. I guess because I was just so not like, neither of my parents went to college. Like college was not really like a big, it was a priority in my life was to go, like by my parents was to go to college, but like they didn't have the tools or like the information available to like tell me how to effectively get into like a good school. So I feel like as a result of that, I didn't like the desire to be in DECA, the desire to like be in sports, like to do extracurriculars. I was like, I don't get this. Like, why is everyone doing this shit?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem fun. It doesn't seem like necessary. Like, that's why I was fucking taking pictures of fake blood in my sink at the photography club, because I was like,
was your sister in clubs?
Not really.
See, I think that's what it is too. I think that I it wasn't even a pressure, but I just saw that. Like, my brother was
Right.
president of the National Honor Society. You know what I mean? Like, lacrosse, sports, whatever. My sister was involved. So, like, I saw them doing things nonstop that I was like, oh, obviously I'm going to do the same exact thing.
No, yeah, Amanda had the same, like, tool set I had when
Yeah.
it came to school, where it was just like, whatever.
If not, like, less than you.
Bowling team.
You bowled.
Well, I bowled because
For gym.
it was literally the option for gym, and I was not. If my option was to do sports with the boys or bowl with the girls, queen out with the girls at bowling every week, and get a large plate of French fries and waffle fries with a Diet Coke,
Tell you
I was
one
doing
thing.
that once every 7 days for gym.
Their fries are so good at bowling alleys.
Bowmore Lanes, Huntington.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I can't get behind little balls when it comes to bowling. You know, like the clothespin bowling, like the small little pins.
No, I only know that from that listener who called it and told us that she got a custom set for Christmas.
But I mean, like, listen, don't get me wrong. Maybe I just haven't experienced it enough. But I need a big, heavy
How
ball.
frequently have you even been in a situation where you've had to experience clothespin bowling?
I went once in Baltimore.
I like a big ball.
I like a big ball and a big pin.
Yeah.
What else could I need? I want a big bowling ball, but I want it to be so light, though.
Why? You're such a massive man.
Yes, but at the same exact time, these wrists are so fragile.
Andrew, you won the snatch game. You can throw an 11-pound ball down the lane.
You're not wrong.
We should go bowling.
We should go bowling. We should be doing
People
things
who
like
are in
that.
bowling club, like, I honestly have such a strong, sweet affinity for. I'm like, you're a sweetie.
You're a sweetie, and you're kind of like, bowling kind of was like a pastime.
And it was, yeah.
You
and
know?
yet, like, you made it a full time. And I think that that's something that I admire. Was that a resume booster? No. And
No.
you're shaking his head no.
I wouldn't say it's a resume booster unless you wanted to like do bowling as like
A career.
a career or like in college be on their bowling team. But sometimes extracurriculars, and this is what I wish I learned,
Do it for
should have
fun.
been for fun.
Yeah, do it for fun. Yearbook club. Every member of a high school yearbook club is going to come out as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, asexual, plus before they turn 23.
Yes.
And sometimes more than one of those.
Because I'll tell you one thing about them. Very creative. They had a vision. They understood the assignment. They knew what they wanted the front of the yearbook to look like. They knew the whole through line.
And nobody is more in other people's business than a yearbook club, and nobody is more in other people's business than a gay person. Do you know what I mean?
And I know what you mean.
They're paying attention.
And if they didn't like you, they could do
You're not in
you
that
very
yearbook.
dirty.
Yes, and that's also part of it. No one does bitch better.
Or you're in that yearbook, but you're looking like shit.
Exactly. Environmental Awareness Club.
Oh,
That's something they weren't
see,
giving us at Catholic school in Long Island, I'll tell you that.
They weren't necessarily giving that at my public school either. I'm sure that there was, but at the time, I wasn't paying attention.
No, I
and
was
that's
like,
a problem. But I'm
those
being
liberal
honest.
freaks.
Yeah,
Get it together.
I'm like, that's a club.
Show choir. Did you have a show choir club?
We didn't have a show choir.
We got a show choir right towards the end of high school, and everyone knows why. Rachel Berry. Everyone knows why. It was
That
because
makes
of Glee.
sense.
And those bitches, and I've said this before, those bitches, it's my high school graduation. The Glee choir gets on stage to perform In My Life by the Beatles. And I'm actually quite moved. I'm like, this is an amazing song choice. Wow. Like, this is amazing. The rendition is stunning. 5 years later, I'm sitting at my desk at BuzzFeed watching Glee for the first time. I get to the high school graduation episode of Glee, and what song do they sing but In My Life by the Beatles? I said, fuck you guys. You got me good. They got me good.
It's nonstop. Wait, that's sweet. I wish I was in a show choir.
Another environmental club. I love you guys. You guys did wonders for the straws.
What about utensils?
Perhaps.
Well, when they came for my fries, they came for my dignity. And you know what? At that point, I probably stopped paying attention to any of the other changes.
They got rid of the fries.
They charged $1 for them, Joe.
What did they used to be free?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad they started charging $1.
They were trying to de-incentivize people from getting the fries by charging money for them.
Wow, it's like the soda tax.
Yes. I just wanted the crinkle cut.
Did you still get them?
Yeah, of course. $1.
They didn't. Yeah, they wasn't 2 T.
I was like, all right.
It's also crazy. Like school lunch. It's insane that all school lunches are not free. What do you mean?
I know.
I'm forced to be here and I have to pay for lunch.
I know.
What do you mean? Like, let's slash some salaries. Let's make this work. Because why do children have to pay for lunch?
But I do, in retrospect, even though like I agree with you, but the fact that it was like $2 for me now,
I was spending like $10 sometimes at lunch.
No, you guys, because you guys had like chicken Parmesan sandwiches.
Yeah.
Public school was like $2.25, and I was getting a meal.
That's not bad.
It's very nice, actually. But then when I was getting a strawberry milkshake, then add about $6 to that.
Well, the thing about your school that I'll always question is why are there like 45 kids that have over a 4.0 GPA? How does that work? Don't you think we should fix the grading system?
I would say there was probably over 100.
I had over a 4.0.
Well, we did out of 100.
Doesn't that feel like it's not over a 4.0? If 100 kids can do it?
I graduated with 103.4, and it still wasn't the top. The top was like 105.6.
Something's got to give. Something's got to give.
I know.
103.4 full-time podcaster.
Well, yes.
And that's the pipeline.
But at the moment you don't see that for yourself.
Right.
I didn't see for myself when I graduated with 103.46 that I was going to be a full-time podcaster. I didn't. But looking back on it,
it made a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I had a lot of shit to say, and I wasn't saying it then. Wow. But I'm saying it now.
Cross country. What were you guys running from? Model UN?
Those people freaked me out.
That's a step above you.
Yeah, no, I couldn't even compete with Model UN.
Because that's when they've committed to the bit.
They were like, I'm actually the next representative of the world.
They are doing Model UN. Me and you are still wearing the wigs in the basement.
Yes.
Like, like that's where like something like a spark, a connector has been missed. Like we are not up to par with what those kids were doing.
They were the smartest kids I've ever seen.
And it's like at what cost?
Model UN.
Well, yeah, no, and that's amazing. And this comes back to what I was saying before. It's like when you're one of those smarty pants, when you're one of those overachievers, don't you lose a bit of those childhood years that you could have? I mean, and sure, I'm sure that everyone who's in Model UN,
you're a model in your own regard,
and I'm sure that they're living different lives than I'm living. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you were set up for success.
I'm sure they have a lot of stability.
And at the same time, it's like, but I don't like. I cherish the fact that I was just fucking around and being a weirdo freak on the internet and like in my room. Like I cherish those times. Mm-hmm. Of just nothing, doing nothing.
But again, you cherishing nothing, you know that there are people cherishing something.
Well, I'm cherishing something.
You're still cherishing something, but they're cherishing their Model UN years.
Yeah, I just feel like that's a lot of stress. I feel like a lot of stress and a lot of stressor.
I'm sure that there are a lot of them. I would like to know the statistic. There are probably a lot of them are in therapy.
Model UN members.
Yes.
Imagine discussing like what NATO should do, and you're 17 and you're doing it for fun,
and like going to competitions and like them judging you and being like, you won Model UN.
Like, I'm sorry, shut that one down. We gotta shut that one down. Like, I think that's a bridge too far. Yeah, I think we've pushed it. I think we could scale back on Model UN. I'm sorry.
Bring up the bridge. Loved it. Bring up the bridge.
Bring up the bridge. Because I think if you loved it, that's amazing. But I think we shouldn't let anyone else do that. I think we perpetuated something
leave
that is
it
sick.
To the UN. Good children to the guidance office.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be leaving a voicemail. I watch your videos every week, and you guys are the best, and I love seeing and hearing all the stories. But basically, my question is, how do you guys deal with like FOMO? Like, I don't know, like I hate being alone, and like when there's nothing to do and everyone else is out, like I just feel so sad and kind of embarrassed about it, not gonna lie, but I just don't know what to do, and I don't want to like feel like this, I guess. Sorry, I said that pretty badly, but you guys said thank you.
I don't think I personally experienced FOMO any longer. I'm like very happy with staying inside. Even if I was looking at people's socials, I'm not like I'm upset I wasn't there. If it was an opportunity though, if it was like an experience, like a trip, I feel more FOMO.
Yeah, I think everything looks better online. I think it's like about enjoying your time alone too.
Yeah.
I love being alone. I'm not alone enough anymore. I
Yeah.
used to be alone all the time and I loved it. And I was
Yeah.
so creative and my room was always so clean and I was like so much more present. And now it's like there's like I think that you should cherish the time you spend alone because one day it's going to be a rare thing to feel.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is, like, you said that when you were alone, your room has never been cleaner. Like, I'm alone and my room has never been dirtier.
You're not alone. You're busy. You're always
I'm busy,
doing
but like,
something.
I'm like definitely staying in the apartment a good amount, Joe. Like, think about it. I definitely have some nights to myself. And when I have nights to myself, yeah.
Am I the one who has a bigger social
Yeah, for
calendar right
sure.
now?
For sure. You also have a relationship. So it's like,
Yeah.
when you don't,
Whenever I don't have something else to do, I have something to do.
you know what I mean? So I'm not like, and even like at nights, like if you have it at nights too, but like when there is somebody else over and staying with you, like that's not you being alone. Like I'm still like doing my own thing in my room by myself nightly.
We're untapping something dark, you guys. Let's keep it going.
Nightly. Every single
How does that
day.
make you feel?
How does it make me feel?
Yeah.
Being alone?
Yeah.
You know what? I've gotten so used to it that I can't even imagine another life without it, or doing anything different. I think that's my biggest problem right now. It's my hardest struggle. It's like, I want to go home. Yeah, I want to go home. I want to be alone. You know? But back to the FOMO. I did used to experience FOMO, especially in the college years. It would be more like, but I never was like upset I wasn't there. It was more that I felt like I wasn't invited.
Yeah, same.
With when it came to FOMO.
Yeah.
Especially if it like was happening around me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That was definitely the biggest issue, is feeling left out more than feeling like if I chose not to do something again, whatever. I definitely felt FOMO in college, like when everyone else had a life and I just didn't. But I would agree with you. I think it was that. And I think, again, you got to learn to have fun with yourself. You got to learn to say, actually, my night in where I took a little bath, I did my skincare. I watched a little movie. I made a little popcorn. I had a little snack.
Yeah.
Maybe I even drank a little wine. Maybe. You don't have to. Maybe I drank a little Gia.
Maybe I
little
drank a
mocktail.
little Gia.
And I went to bed early and I woke up and I feel well rested.
Yep.
Like, not there's, you can't put a price on that.
No.
You really can't. It's the best experience
It
of all
is.
time. Tonight, I know I'm not doing anything and I cannot wait. I have fresh sheets on my bed. My stuffed animals are all lined up waiting for me when I get home. I can't wait. And if my friends are doing something, so be it.
So be it.
It also, I guess, definitely comes from aging. I think as you get older, it's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't have this is not the most important. Like,
No.
You don't have the capacity to feel it as much. But also, it's like knowing who your friends are. Like, if you and Garrett are out and about, like, there's no world where I feel FOMO because I'm like, I'll see those girls.
all.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'll check in. Like,
I feel the same exact way. I'm like, you guys have
so much fun. Give me the 2-sentence recap at the end of the night.
You in the living room with Alyssa and Alex.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are having fun. So am I.
Exactly. There is
Yeah.
that, like, it's just a feeling of like trust, I guess,
Yeah.
with your friends. You're like, whatever.
Yeah. And it's not like, I think that FOMO also comes from, sometimes it comes from the fear of being left out, but it's like, if you feel like your friends are one-upping you,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh my God, last night was so much fun. Like, that's a different feeling.
It's like,
good children to the cafeteria. Pretty like
it's
a devil.
literally, it's 2024 and you're still saying the lyrics are, he looks so pretty like a devil. He looks up grinning like a devil. It's
don't
just,
get that.
well, it's like learn the words.
Well, I mean, it's creative interpretation sometimes for me.
But I
like it that way. What if that
It's
I said,
disrespect to art.
well, at this point,
And a man is now, so now a man is going to tell Taylor Swift what to do. I don't think
I'm not
so.
talking to Taylor Swift to
I
her
don't
face.
think so.
I can do it.
I don't think so. Don't tell the Swifties. You're done. You're toast.
You think I'm toast?
You're over.
I'm over?
You're over.
You know what? If
Controlling
that's
a
how
woman.
if
Controlling a woman.
If it cancels
controlling
me,
a
if
woman.
that's the narrative that you're placing upon me, then
I
so
didn't
be
place it. I don't have to place the narrative. I don't have to narrate you, Heather.
Well, seems to be that you are narrating me right now in this moment.
So we're going to Bengal Bowls again. So it's going to be a Bengal Bowls kind of morning. We just left the gym. I developed a severe, Andrew's claiming it's a glute injury. I think it's a hip injury.
Well, because you were telling me that you were starting to feel your ass. You showed me where
it's
it was.
on the ass. It's deep in the ass.
So if it's
but
deep
it's definitely
in
like where my hip bone is.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I mean, your hip's connected to the glute, so like,
right.
that's probably what's going on.
It's like deep in the glute.
Yeah.
I can't really walk.
You shouldn't be running.
I shouldn't be running, and I can't not.
You shouldn't be sitting that
Baby,
long either.
I was born to run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about reading Bruce Springsteen's memoir.
You're kidding.
I read a Reddit post about it, and I said, I bet you I would like this guy.
I think that you guys have a lot of similar like
We have a lot in common. A lot in common. Yeah.
So that's gonna be very nice for you. I'm thinking I might switch it up today at Bengal.
You're gonna get an acai. I'm thinking the same.
Because you know what, that's gonna make it different for our listeners at home too.
And last time we went, we should have a Bengal Bowls sponsorship. I mean, come on. Last time we went, I was saying how I don't like a bunch of frozen fruit in the morning, and you were saying sometimes a little frozen fruit with a peony butt is all you need.
A little bit over the line. Oh, there's more than one person going into. No, she's looking in. She's saying, "Are they open?"
Are they closed? They can't be. We were.
That's got to be one of our
Sunday.
listeners.
This girl's going to
BSB?
bed.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
shit! Do we go to Perk first?
Oh,
Wait, maybe they're
my
going to
God.
tap room
No.
for brunch.
These lax bros.
All four of them. It's going to take us an hour and a half.
'Cause they're all getting
they just left
acai.
class. They just left class. Yeah. We're gonna have to
like they're getting 4 acai bowls. They're gonna run out.
Go Perk first. It's disrespectful.
That wouldn't be considered over the line if you took a road test. You would know that.
It smells like birria tacos.
It smells amazing. We should have a brand deal with Edward Jones Investments.
I
can
can't
tell you
believe
that.
how good it smells.
It smells amazing.
I can't walk.
I saw a
I'm gonna sit right here.
you think this bench is dedicated to somebody?
Who else do they dedicate benches to? They don't dedicate benches to the living.
I wonder what John Stanger would think about us.
I don't think he would love us.
I missed the guy that came by us last time and said, "You're the TikTok gays."
Andrew, we like know that guy. All right, and we go.
Should we take him in with us? Okay, so a lot just happened in there. And I know that I was saying on the way in that I really did miss the day that said, "Those are the TikTok gays." And lo and behold,
We just had a really wonderful conversation with Antonio.
Antonio is actually amazing.
He's one of us.
And he went around and was promoting the podcast.
And that's all. Can you hold this for 1 second?
Yeah. Joe was wearing the merch.
I was wearing the merch, unfortunately. Oh, when you're here, you're home. When you're here, you're home. You always find your way.
Hey, I'm like, I really can't even believe what just happened. How's your coffee?
Andrew, this is the best coffee I've ever had in my entire life. Mine's better.
That's mine. That's yours.
It says Love Bites. Have you had sex in a car?
Sex in a car? Yes, once.
I wish I have.
Once.
I wish I have.
And it wasn't even that great.
Well, it's not going to be good.
And I can't tell you where it was. Oh. I go, I can't tell you where it was. Like, it was in front of your home.
I know where it was.
By the preserve?
Yeah.
I got the acai, the classic, but you know what I added? You saw it there.
You got a peony butt?
I had it at
That's why it was $25 at Bengal Bowls for two bowls.
Well, what do you think they're gonna charge $7 for peony? I don't want you to charge extra money for that.
Well, they
It
must
should be
have.
free.
They clearly did.
Should be like water. Oh, when the honey drifts.
I'm starting to want to move back here, and that could be a hot take. It could be a controversial take. It could be an amazing take from our cousin Jenna Rose.
Well,
But-
Jenna Rose lives here for a reason.
Exactly, and I'm starting to. I think what it is like you have to leave to like see it with fresh eyes.
And you know what Selena Gomez said? Lose you to love me.
Well, that actually has no relevance to I think how I'm feeling, but maybe it's how you're feeling.
The honey is almost so natural. It's almost so natural. What?
That they milked that bee this morning. Pink. I wanted it because it was pink.
Dragon fruit. But No, it's actually a very good bagel bowl. A good acai bowl.
You said bagel bowl?
Bango.
You said
For a
bagel.
second, it kind of tasted like an 8-piece sushi roll is what I was getting.
This is the problem with us. This is why we gotta only go to fast food chains so that we can actually talk shit.
No, this is my... Joe, even if we talk shit about this place, we go every week.
I just got a little kiku.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you.
I got a little sushi.
It tastes like sushi. Is yours a slushy texture?
Yes, you see that? If you were on the Babylon branch going to or fro New York City, and you're thinking, I could use a coffee, get off at Massapequa Park.
And even if you aren't on the way, and you live in the city, or if you want a destination to the good children,
to Massapequa for the day.
Go to Massapequa for the day.
Should we sell a little digital tour guide?
Yeah, we should.
How to maximize your sleigh in Massapequa.
Maximize your sleigh. Sleigh.
I only think enough.
I would love to see her play Audrey.
I don't know if she could do that.
Why?
Different roles, really.
Doesn't matter, because when you're that young and she's probably a fantastic actress, she should be able to shock you.
In about 5 miles from current location. Weather alert. Winter storm warning. In about 20 miles from current location.
The start of a found footage horror movie. It's the beginning. Can you imagine if that whole thing we just recorded was the beginning of like a Cloverfield, and then it switches to like monster murder?
I was talking about icy acai bowls.
Giving a tour of Massapequa Park.
We need to create a list of how to maximize your sleigh of Massapequa.
All right, back to the studio.
Back to the studio. Well, whoa. That was an amazing meal. That was an amazing acai bowl and drink and coffee. We hope you enjoy Bango Bowls and Massapequa Perk. Joe's camera,
My camera died.
has died, or like iPhone storage is full.
Oh yeah, my iPhone storage is full.
So it's like kind of nice to be this close to him. It's sweet. Oh, it's sweet, guys. See, like we've done a really great job
really
of like making progress. Like now we can like touch and like not like wince. But with that,
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. We'll see you next Wednesday for a brand new one, but we'll see you on Friday on Patreon. And there's going to be a bonus episode on Patreon this week because why not? We have nothing else to do.
we're sprinkling in the extra episodes for a reason.
Trust and believe we're sprinklers.
Yeah. And don't forget to do your homework. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review. Write a little something sweet. And by this time that the episode is airing, Joe, we already have 16,000 reviews.
16,000.
Happy 16,000, you guys.
Thank you so much to all 16,000 reviewers. And don't forget, you can find us across all platforms at Good Children Pod.
I'm on Instagram at Andrew Muscarella, on TikTok at Andrew _ Muskie. You can get it wrong.
I'm on Instagram at Joe Hegyes and on TikTok at Be Quiet Joe, where I'm trying to do a day in the life every single day.
Day in the life every day.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? People want to know what your days are like.
And that's that on that. So we'll see you next week.
We'll see you.
There are places
I remember all my life, though some have changed, some for better, some for better. I know the words. Oh, so remain.
I know I'll never
Lose affection
for
people and things come before. Stop. That's sick a scene a lot. Life, I love you more.
How's it? Just say it. Have you shoved your lacrosse goalie stick up your ass?
Maybe once. Maybe I tried. You think the Beatles are rolling around in their grave being like, it's actually so embarrassing that these two losers don't know our song?
Yep.